They said it couldn't be done, that the laws of engineering, of physics, of logic would never allow it. But now it's here. And it's not just working, it's rewriting everything we thought we knew about transportation. Welcome to the revolution, on wheels, a breakthrough no one saw coming, until now. For decades, automotive engineers have dreamed of a vehicle that runs cleaner, faster, smarter, and independently. One that doesn't just reduce emissions, but eliminates them. One that doesn't just rely on batteries, but recharges itself. Most call it fantasy, an engineering myth. But behind the scenes, a team of radical thinkers refuse to give up. Scientists, designers, and software architects scattered across 3 continents, united by a common belief that mobility could be reborn. It all changed with one innovation, a new form of solid-state power architecture, ultralight, ultradense, and infinitely more stable than any battery before it, coupled with an AI drivetrain and regenerative surface tech. The result was something extraordinary. The car doesn't just run, it learns, it adapts to the road, to weather, even to your habits. It communicates wirelessly with other vehicles. It shares energy. And in some conditions, it doesn't even need to stop to recharge. Then came the moment that silenced the skeptics. On a quiet stretch of highway, early one morning, the prototype was unleashed, with no driver, no sound, just raw, intelligent power. It traveled over 500 miles without a single charge, navigated traffic, interfaced with smart signals. And when it pulled into its final stop, the world finally understood this wasn't science fiction anymore. But this isn't just a new car. It's a blueprint for what's coming. Roads that communicate, vehicles that cooperate, cities that breathe easier, and mobility that's accessible to all, not just a wealthy few. From Africa's innovation hubs to Asia's megafactories, this breakthrough has sparked a global race, not just to build smarter cars, but to redefine freedom itself. They said it was impossible, but it's here now, and it's only the beginning. The question is, are you ready to ride into the future? Within hours of the highway debut, the world took notice. News outlets scrambled for footage. Tech analysts broke down the specs frame by frame. And legacy automakers, once skeptical, called emergency board meetings. In Germany, top EV manufacturers announced a strategic pivot. In Japan, engineers from 2 rival companies agreed to collaborate for the first time in 40 years. And in Silicon Valley, rumors spread that a major tech company is planning to launch its own autonomous division, powered by this very tech. But behind the machine was a mind few had heard of, a young engineer, born in Lagos, raised in Cape Town, educated in Shanghai, a hybrid of cultures, ideas, and raw brilliance. Driven by the belief that mobility should be a right, not a privilege, she turned rejection into resolve. Her prototype wasn't just built in defiance of the odds. It was built for the billions who were told to wait for change that never came. Following the debut, countries across the global south made their move. Nigeria fast-tracked infrastructure permits for solar charging highways. Kenya announced the world's first energy-sharing lanes. And Indonesia struck a deal to mass-produce the new AI chip powering it all. For the first time in modern history, the future of mobility isn't just being written in Detroit, Tokyo, or Munich. It's being reshaped in Nairobi, Dhaka, Medellin by communities that were once left behind. But not everyone is celebrating. Oil giants have begun lobbying to halt highway updates. Auto unions are demanding answers. And whispers from within one major EV company suggest they're working behind the scenes to acquire or suppress the new tech. What started as a bold innovation is now the center of a silent war, one that could decide who controls the future of global transport. So what comes next? Will this technology spark a new era of equality, efficiency, and open roads for all? Or will it be buried beneath profits and politics? One thing is certain, the road ahead won't be quiet. And as new players rise and old powers dig in their heels, the next chapter of this revolution promises to be even more explosive. You've seen what happens when impossible becomes reality, but the fight to keep it alive has just begun. Stay tuned. The journey is far from over. As this new technology spreads, the global balance of power starts to shift. No longer are oil-rich nations holding the keys to energy dominance. Instead, rare earth-rich countries in Africa, Asia, and South America begin to rise, not just as resource suppliers, but as innovation leaders. Global superpowers take notice. Some offer investment, others veiled threats. Trade deals are restructured, embargoes are proposed, and in corporate boardrooms, the question isn't if this new mobility platform will take over, it's who will control it. Leaked documents from within an international policy forum reveal the formation of an unofficial alliance, codenamed Project Eclipse, a shadow group comprising legacy automakers, fossil energy interests, and even certain state actors. Their mission: to slow the rollout of the new tech by any means necessary. Software updates are suddenly blocked. Regulations become hostile. Influencers are paid to discredit the innovation. And in one chilling case, a leading developer involved in the vehicle's AI system disappears. The revolution is no longer just on the road. It's being fought in cyberspace boardrooms and policy chambers. But as pressure builds, so does resistance. Across the world, communities take to the streets, demanding open access to the new technology. Hashtags like hashtag unlock the future, hashtag clean drive now, and hashtag OpenEV dominate social media. Grassroots engineers begin building localized versions of the prototype, modified for rural roads, deserts, and even flood-prone regions. The revolution is no longer contained. It's evolving, it's adapting, it's multiplying. From a single prototype to a global rebellion against energy monopolies, the spark has become a storm. Intelligence reports now suggest that a covert meeting is scheduled, where the original inventor and world leaders will face off against corporate lobbyists and energy giants. The location: a neutral offshore tech summit. The stakes: the legal fate of the breakthrough tech. If the wrong side wins, the technology could be licensed into silence. But if the inventor prevails, a new blueprint for global equality might just be released into the public domain. One meeting, one vote, one decision that could either light the world or keep in the dark. This isn't just about a car. It's about power, possibility, and the people. The world is watching. And the final battle for the future of mobility is about to begin. The world watched in suspense as the most powerful people on the planet gathered in a place no map would name. A summit built for secrecy, for deals forged in shadows, and for one woman to challenge an empire. She didn't come with an army. She came with the code. In the first hour, she laid her terms on the table. No patents, no licensing fees. The breakthrough would belong to humanity, free and open to all. But the opposition was ready. They countered with billions, promises of distribution, market reach, global safety protocols. Then came the threat. If she refused to sell, they would bury the tech in bureaucracy, stall infrastructure rollouts, launch legal attacks in every major economy. You can't stop what the world already knows. You can only choose whether to be part of it or be left behind. The chamber fell silent. Delegates were handed encrypted keypads. One button: global release. The other: private control. The future now came down to numbers. And then the result detonated across the planet like thunder. The tech was now public. Every blueprint, every circuit, every line of code, uploaded to a decentralized global network within minutes. From villages in Malawi to metro labs in South Korea, innovation ignited like wildfire, and the roads, they began to glow, hum, and breathe with new life. But revolutions don't come without enemies. Within 48 hours, a massive coordinated cyber attack attempted to take down the global mobility network. It failed, but not without damage. The message was clear. The old world wasn't going to disappear quietly. The fight was no longer just on roads or in courts. It had entered the digital realm. In response, a decentralized alliance was born. Hackers, engineers, policy activists, and everyday citizens banded together under one banner: mobility for all. They weren't waiting for protection. They were the protection. Guardians of an open-source world with the future in their hands. A new mobility age had begun, one not defined by brands, borders, or billionaires, but by shared access, clean energy, and human ingenuity. The roads are no longer just paths between places. They're living systems, connecting ideas, people, and possibility. This is not the end of the story. It's the end of one world and the beginning of another. If this chapter inspired you, share it, comment your thoughts, and subscribe, because the road ahead is still being written and you're part of the story now. Years have passed since the revolution sparked on a lonely stretch of highway. What began as one woman's defiance has grown into a movement that redefined how the world moves and why it moves. The highways became lifelines. Vehicles evolved into intelligent companions. Roads no longer divided nations. They united them. Across every continent, the freedom to move became a right, not a luxury. She never asked for fame. She never sought power. She simply believed that knowledge should serve all, not just the privileged. And in doing so, she gave the world more than a machine. She gave it a compass. There will always be those who resist progress, who fear what they can't control. But the revolution was never about speed or silicon. It was about people, choosing to believe in something bigger than themselves. The road ahead is not perfect, but it is open, and that changes everything. This was the revolution they said was impossible, but we made it real, together, and the wheels, they will never stop turning.